Hi everybody, welcome to Afterburner. I'm Bill Whittle. Well, as Matt Drudge reported a few weeks ago, Barack Obama has taken a few days from his busy vacation schedule to visit Washington for a little while. Probably he just wanted to pop in and pick up his paycheck. Now, Barack Obama has always been aloof. It's a kind way of putting it. Most of us can remember the salad days of the light worker regime when this detachment was referred to as Obama cool and no drama Obama, a time when Maureen Dowd described him with Nurse Chapel-like adulation as the Vulcan in chief, the deeply intellectual man of supreme calm and confidence, the mirror image of George Bush and his contemptible propensity for, action. What a difference a days makes. And we began to see it early. During the push for the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, Obama's signature piece of legislation, Obamacare. Obama himself wasn't much interested in how to get Obamacare passed, or on some level, whether it even got passed or not. On some level, he just checked out of the fight. Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid did the heavy lifting for that debacle, Obama only stepping forward to accept the credit for it once it became time to sign and bask in the glory. Likewise, insiders say that Obama passed again and again on the bin Laden raid, worried about the consequences of failure. He wasn't involved in any of the operational details and was famously on the golf course the day of the actual mission. That's why he's sitting in the back of the room. He just checked out. During the Benghazi crisis, he showed a remarkable detachment as the events unfolded, watching as others made the decisions that affected the life and death of his people in real time. He went to bed early that night to get ready for the big fundraiser the next day. He checked out of the day's responsibility to be fully rested for the next day's glory and adulation. And again, with the Syria crisis, and again with the VA crisis, and again with the Bowe Bergdahl scandal, and again as Iraq crumbled before his eyes, he checked out. He's on the links. He only just now heard about it on the news. He's deeply alarmed. He's very disturbed. He means to get to the bottom of it. He's not available for comment other than to say, it's not my fault. And that's actually what really interests me today as we endure year 5 of the Obama administration. If Barack Obama flees ever faster, further, and longer from the onrushing avalanche of disasters caused reciprocally enough by his absence, then what will happen when things really begin to go south for this thin-skinned, vain, and not terribly capable man? What will happen when it fully occurs to Vladimir Putin, who has Russian tanks inside the borders of the Ukraine as I write this? When ISIS realizes that for all of the deeply, deeply felt anguish over the murders of Foley and entire millennia-old Christian communities, when the Chinese, who are even now building stealth jets and aircraft carriers and other means to flex their muscles in the Pacific, what will happen when these tyrannical powers discover, after several years of progressively testing this man, that there is, in point of fact, no man there at all? What will happen when the full realization that the most powerful military force in the history of the world has been neutered as effectively as if shot down, sunk, or destroyed on the battlefield by a commander-in-chief who is psychologically incapable of using them in any meaningful way? Because he is, psychologically incapable of using them. Just look at his history. A fatherless child searching for a racial and anti-colonial identity from the dad who abandoned him. A man who's had every door not only open for him, but whose entire life is a series of velvet ropes being opened to escort him through the VIP entrance. A man who accepts Nobel Peace Prizes before unpacking his White House bags. A man who campaigns and fundraises all the time so that he can soak up the rapidly evaporating pools of adulation at the expense of the hard work and late hours needed to, actually do his job. What happens to a man like that when faced for the first time in his life and the political and historical weight of the world on his shoulders with a terrible choice or a worse choice? What happens when the things that have always worked due to the grit of his predecessors no longer work? What happens when war is called for or thrust upon us and there's no one left to blame or delegate to? What happens when a Republican House and Senate send him the kind of legislation that can cure our economic ills at the expense of his political philosophy, and he has to take out his pen and write his name, not Bush's or Pelosi's or the press's or Assad's or Putin's or anyone else's, but his name to the veto? Will he be able to take it? I once thought he could, but now I'm just not so sure. If he is, as many of us have long suspected, a true clinical, pathological narcissist, then not even the almost unimaginable pressures that could be brought to bear will keep him at this job. Men like this, men, run from criticism. They evade responsibility. But according to the experts, the one thing, the one pain that's unbearable for people like this is to be mocked. He'll check out before that happens. That's been the pattern at Occidental and Columbia and Harvard and the Illinois Senate and the U.S. Senate. Well, my friends, he's already being mocked by his own party and his own supporters. And if he thinks that this is bad, well, you just wait till you see the world of 6 months from now, or 12, or 18. A world without America, because America has no president. Then there will not be a golf course rich enough or big enough or exclusive enough or far enough away for this self-centered, fantastically insecure, and utterly terrified little man to hide on.